So for 20 years, all healthcare were paid a product of retail. But the top percentage supermodels, talent, and producers, anti-slave ones, had their money stolen. So if the families have a God complex and they don't believe in pain and they think that they have to be a different job, such as something in healthcare, and they believe they have to be gainfully employed for a minimum wage job, they would still need the $400,000 I got from the $20,000 of cars my dad gave me and the car insurance my mom gave me. They would have to be able to have the $400,000 and the $10,000 a year for 20 years and the place to live. But after 20 years of not getting the 5 times more, the $550 it is to not be compared to an assistant for someone else or to have the money to live out to do the job. They actually have to live out to do the job. Their own families kill them by not paying them money. If they think that they would be drugged, raped, kidnapped, locked up and oppressed, made homeless, diagnosed, forced counseling, and invade a boundary. So the families spend $20 a day saying they'd have to have a different job because they're not married for money. And they're not meant to be married for money. And they're not a gainfully employed minimum wage worker. And they would need that much in order to live. The $25,000 to not be a party promoter or a prostitute or a homeless person. They spend $200 twice a week while working, sinning with the other healthcare workers as they oppress their children, as they become party promoters and prostitutes and slave trade. So do the clients who break the law, who pay 8 months too late, and it's only a runway rate for 14 years when they're replaced by slave trade, minimum wage, to be gang raped, to have people gang raped in order to work minimum wage, when they're the top percentage anti-slave trade network for 7 years, and then 7 years more, and 7 years more, when they book those jobs out of 140,000 people, when it's a roster of slave trade employees. City to suburbia. So God provided a miracle to do just what it is to work for God. But they need to be paid after 20 years of slavery. For 20 years, 30 years, charity owners hosted LGBT rights, slave trade for minimum wage, which oppressed them. Keep that in mind. The highest government slay their enemies.